Hey, Chris Mannix here. Hey, Chris, thank you for coming on. So, Chris, what did you think of the fight? Give us your overall take of the fight.
Not very entertaining. I thought Teofimo did enough to win it. I agree with him. I don't think you can win a lot of fights moving in the way that Martin moved. He landed some jabs, but if you look at the consequential punches and who controlled most of the rounds, I thought Teofimo did. I had 96-93 on my scorecard. 97-92 a little bit wide, but you know, I've seen a lot of Sandor Martin over the last couple of years. I was ringside when he beat Mikey Garcia. He legitimately won that fight, largely because Mikey didn't throw much back, and I thought Teofimo was throwing some bigger punches back. Not his best performance, but he did, I thought, enough to win.
What did you think of the knockdown? Did you think that was a legitimate knockdown?
I did. In fact, I thought there was a second knockdown from Martin, which might have changed the entire complexion of the fight. If the referee missed that, I didn't see a replay, but to the naked eye, it felt like he clipped Teofimo coming in once again. So it was a flash knockdown for sure, but I thought it was, that's what Sandor Martin does. He's a counterpuncher. He's not going to be looking to move aggressively. He's going to move and try to catch you coming in, and that's exactly what he did.
Okay, Chris, I don't know if you know, but Terrence Crawford, he stopped Avenesian in like the fifth round. Terrence Crawford has stopped everybody at 147. Do you think, based off the fact that he has a stoppage, every fight at 147 has been a stoppage, do you think now that makes people even more curious and clamoring for the fight that we all want to see with Errol Spence? What's your take on the politics and why we can't get this fight made?
Yeah, look, a spectacular knockout like Crawford had tonight is only going to make people want to see the Spence fight more. Nobody really knows what's going on behind the scenes. Like, whenever these guys start talking about hedge funds and splits and purses and like stuff, just makes your eyes kind of glaze over a little bit. I don't think anybody really knows who's to blame in all this. Crawford obviously did not get the offer he was looking for, and he had a big one, $10 million maybe, from BLK Prime, and he took it. I don't blame him for that. I blame the network for putting that kind of money on the table for a fight like that. I just hope that now, with really no other options for them, that these two get back into a room at some point in the spring and hammer out the finer points. It's clear that there's broad agreement on a lot of terms there. All you need to do now is hammer out the finer points and find a resolution to the areas of this contract that are in conflict.
Okay, Chris, one last question. Canelo has surgery. He says he's going to more than likely fight John Ryder and then a rematch with Bivol. Do you think Canelo can do anything different in a rematch with Bivol?
Well, I'm curious to see what weight the rematch would be. If Bivol has to shrink down to 168, that might take something out of him. I actually think that's a smarter idea for Bivol because it will not only protect his 175-pound title for a unification fight down the line, but in a way he could punch his ticket to the Hall of Fame by becoming a two-time undisputed champion, once at 168 and perhaps once at 175, if he's able to do that. So I think it's a smart, calculated move by Bivol, but at 175, I don't think Canelo can beat Dimitri Bivol. I think he's too good. At 168, where Bivol's a little bit drained, I think the door is open for Canelo to get his revenge.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris. I want to say this before we end this interview. I think Canelo is a great fighter, but I just think Bivol, I think that's a drastic mistake. I think Canelo may possibly get stopped.
Well, look, they make weight classes for a reason, and to Canelo's credit, he has moved up and up and up over the last couple of years. The Kovalev win, people don't give him enough credit for. Kovalev was still a big puncher at that stage, and he got the win, he got the knockout, but Bivol is in his prime light heavyweight, and at that weight class, I just think it's a little bit too much for Canelo.
All right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.